Hi and welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben, and this is my review for the first two episodes of Alchemy of Souls. It's another weekend, and Netflix dropped a cornucopia of new content, and this week we had a new K-drama drop. They're doing 20 episodes as far as I believe, although on Netflix there's a bit of a confusing dialogue there. They have dates up to the 20th episode, and then there is 30 episodes in the title. So it could be that we're waiting for more dates to come. But for now, every episode is going to be over an hour long. You're in for a long haul. So this is kind of to give you an idea whether this is something you're going to be interested in, this K-drama, or maybe you should give it a miss. Let's find out. The fate of two people become twisted due to the soul of the dead return to the living. Okay, so 2 episodes have dropped. Every episode's going to drop on a Saturday and a Sunday, and so it gives us over 2 hours of content to watch. Much is the case with K-drama in this style, the episodic nature of these kind of dramas that we get that are formulaic, but also very long, but also give us a lot to kind of delve into. And it doesn't take very long for our series to kind of show who the protagonist. We get a big opening number, kind of showcasing that actually this series has a decent amount of budget. Then it's showcasing the kind of costume design with the choreography that we've kind of known in this kind of drama that we've come to know and love. But then it shows you that this world is set in a world of mages and like magic, and so we have cool sword fighting, lots of fast-paced cutting when it comes to the fighting. And I was a little bit disappointed in that because I wanted to see everything, because you can see they are very talented and you can see the actors know what they're doing. So you do get to see some of the fights. It's not all the time, but there were a few instances where like, oh man, I really wish they did a wider shot so I could see what's going on. Just a little niggle there, but for the most part I thought the costume design was great. Where it's set is fantastic, but what shines in these 2 episodes is our 2 main protagonists' storyline. It's that classic master and apprentice team up, but how do they get to that point where they are master and apprentice? And I really like that, because there is this moment where one of our protagonists wants to be taught. He for some reason cannot, without going into spoilers, cannot wield mage magic like the others in his family can. He's been rejected by a number of masters, and so he's searching for his own master. And when he finds this woman who also seems to be dealing with her own issues with magic, they come across and they butt heads. And that's that classic, we're not going to give you the story of the master and apprentice just yet. They've got to build up to it. If you've ever seen The Drunken Master with Jackie Chan, there's a whole kind of half a film where it builds up to allowing the kid who wants to be trained by the master, how much do you actually want it? So there's that kind of story. In the background, there are, I guess it's the overarching arc that is shown to us right at the beginning, and then we jump 20 years into the future. I don't think that's spoilers, it's just kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So it's a little bit jarring, and you do have to kind of play catch up as to what's going on. But once you do, I think you'll really love the combination of our master and apprentice. Their relationship, it's often comedic. There are comedy tones and comedy moments that you have to get used to. But once you're used to it, you understand what they're going for. But it's the relationship that builds between these two. It's believable because it doesn't just suddenly they're like really in love with each other, or suddenly they're like best friends. None of that. It's kind of real world fantasy K-drama at its best. So the dialogue is good, the fantasy story is there, and by the end of the 2nd episode, I think you're going to be really into the story of these two. You're going to be rooting for them, and I think that's what it's set out to do. That the beginning of a new story, we're going to be on this journey for a long while. But now, will it hold out with the budget? Will it hold out with the choreography? And will it hold out with the effects? Because one thing in the first 2 episodes I thought were really good. Just the first 20 minutes, the effects, I was not moaning to my wife. I was expressing my exuberance as, oh, look, those effects are very cool. They don't look cheesy, they don't look fake. They just look like they've done well. It looks like it has a budget. They've got good actors. You can tell they're very pretty actors. I imagine that some of them are really well known, or like pop stars or singers. That tends to be the case sometimes with these type of series. But what I can say is I like the characters, I like the acting, it's believable. So I'm not going to rate it yet because I haven't seen the whole series, but it's one to flag up and say, hey guys, if you're looking for a fantasy sword fighting adventure escapism series, set in that kind of mystical realm world that's real but not quite real, then I think you're going to love this. But it's also bite-sized pieces, 2 hours of content every week until it finishes. So I think that's pretty cool. You have to wait a few days, which will be painful, but I think 2 hours of content is enough, longer than those kind of Netflix or Disney episodes that are like 36 minutes or 45 minutes. They give us enough content to enjoy for those 2 days, and then, we'll get more. And hopefully the story will continue to grow as it has done, to really kind of give some backstory to what has gone in between the time of the 20 years. I imagine that's what they're going to be doing, but also really start to see the apprentice and the master, as we've seen with a kind of clip that they've kind of just teased of what's going to happen. That's going to start coming into play, and obviously we're going to get that overarching bad guy storyline, which has kind of reared its face a little, but they're holding on to that a little bit. So let me know your thoughts down below. Is this one that you are looking forward to? What other K-dramas are coming out soon that I should be aware of, or that you've watched recently and that I haven't reviewed you think I should? There's one that I haven't had my hands on called Happiness yet. I'm not sure it's K-drama, but it's a world cinema zombie series that isn't on Netflix in the UK, but it is other places, and I've heard a lot of good talk about it. Let me know if you've seen that. Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long on Tuesday.